Guys, I am back. I'm back to talk about something that no one has been talking about, or I have not really seen anyone talking about, because it is something very, very significant, and that will very deeply affect the game in ways that we probably aren't even very aware of, basically. So today I'm going to be talking about the script library. So before anything, I'll show you my idea of sort of a script for this video, right? This is kind of the ideas that I'm gonna talk about, and well, I'm just gonna show you what the script library thing is, why you should care about it, and how it is going to affect you. Also, positives, negatives, all of those things. I got the idea to make this video because Paulinho, a Brazilian YouTuber basically of Tribal Wars, made a video on this. It did get some reach, but of course it will not be something as complete as what I will do here. I will of course try to explore it from a more, well, of course sharing my opinion a lot, but from a sort of more just neutral POV and also more international POV. What he talked about was very based on the BR server, and this is something that will affect all of the servers, so I think you should stick around and I think you should hear about it. First of all, I will try to explain you the idea of the script library, and I'll show you some announcements that were made over the years regarding the script library. Oh, and by the way, before I even start talking about it, I'll just tell you that I do agree with it 100%. I think that the idea is good. So the initial idea is that, well, instead of having all of these scripts being hosted by random links in users' Dropboxes or in other sort of weird platforms that you don't even know might be up like 24 hours per day, like for example they might have some errors and that may lead people to just having broken scripts or unavailable scripts at specific times, or people who may use their own scripts as a way to control other players' access to scripts. For example, the script mod on .NET, Red Alert, I've talked about that in a video. He used to, and I mean, this was not illegal, by the way, but I would at the very least say is very immoral. He used to just block the access to his scripts, and his scripts are some of the most important scripts in the game, to his opponent tribes in worlds he would play in the US server. This is verified, by the way. I'm not just pulling something out of my ass here. The script library just gets rid of all of those things because, well, only InnoGames staff in theory has access to the links, the codes of the scripts now, and any script maker that may want to have their script legalized would have to submit their scripts to this library, and then it would follow a typical script approval process, and if it goes through, it just gets added into the library, basically. The idea in general is also to just simplify access to scripts. Like your average newbie that like randomly shows up at Tribal Wars for the first time, or like after 10 years of having not played the game, he finds himself in a completely different game from the one that he played at this time, where, I mean, today you basically cannot compete unless you are using some scripts, right? I would argue illegal scripts for the most part, but having legal scripts surely is a really big part of it. And this script library also gives access to players directly to these scripts, right? players can literally just look at, like, I don't know, they might think, okay, I want a resource balancer. They will go to the script library, they will look for a resource balancer, and they will add the resource balancer to their quick bar. It's as simple as that. You don't need to go to the forum, you don't need to go to the .NET forum to look at the scripts that are available on your server or something. Or, I don't know, if you are like going to the Italian server, you don't need to go try to read through the Italian server to find what is allowed or what isn't or whatever. You just go to the script library, you find your script, you add it to the quick bar. Simple as that. So, overall, really good idea. I mean, it sounds really good. That was my attempt at summarizing what the idea is. I will now go through announcements, go through what they have done and said over the years regarding the script library, and also obviously to just tell you even more what we're talking about. So we're going to look at announcements. Then, didn't put here, but after, we will be looking at the script library because they have made it available on the test server. But first of all, let's look at the announcements. This was the first ever announcement made. I will be using the .NET server for showing you the announcements. These are things that are universal for many games. I interacted mainly in the topic here with the community manager of .NET. Even if you don't agree with the responses or don't like them or whatever, don't go shit talking anyone in Discord or in the forum. But this is none of this is something these people have control over, and in the end, this is just something that everyone should want to develop and improve. So yeah, just don't be weird. Don't go talking to people, basically, because of what I'm saying here. So let's start with the announcements. Dear players, we have been instructed by InnoGames to begin the process of moving all scripts approved for use to our own servers. Once this is done, no script that is hosted externally will be allowed. Players will only be able to use scripts that are hosted on our end. So here we are already seeing that they want to have a sort of like a unique library where it will be the only way to use scripts legally, basically. So any script that is not in the script library, in theory, right, will be illegal. In reality, there are some nuances, we'll get to it. Or some potential nuances at this point, I have no clue. Note that this is a game-wide change, which means it will impact all versions of the game, not just the international market. We wanted to take this chance to explain to you in as much detail as possible, what will be happening, in order to be open and as transparent as we can be, which, of course, I do like. And this post is from December 19, 2024. By the way, we are in February of 2026. So they took 1 year and sort of 3 months, basically, to get to a point where they have released this feature in the test server. We'll talk about it later. Please find a summary of the changes here. Moving forward, only scripts that are hosted in our servers will be legal to use. What I was saying, we will not be approving new scripts during this transition, which is whatever at this point. Private scripts will no longer be allowed, including private scripts that were approved in the past, which I really like, of course. Private scripts were something that I was very against, and have always been very against. In the .NET server, you basically could just send your own private scripts for approval, and people would just make really good scripts and hide them, and since they are approved, people could use them, so they would just share them with their tribe, and they would get an advantage in comparison to other tribes that did not happen because they were better than the other tribes, right? So that, to me, is just unfair. We will be disapproving non-working and duplicate scripts, which, by the way, can be an issue. I will also talk about it later, because, of course, the idea of getting rid of non-working scripts is perfect. Also because there are a lot of them. And I mean, if I go here to the forum section of scripts, I will very quickly be able to show you that there's scripts from 2010 still approved, and probably no one uses this, right? Who knows? Maybe someone does, but very unlikely. So getting rid of those things, those outdated things, sounds really good, of course, and that helps simplifying things. But duplicate scripts is an issue. What is a duplicate script? Because, I mean, I could think of, for example, scripts that have the same end goal. So if I look for single village scavenging tribal wars, we have got this script from FM the Master, but we have also got scavenging script, this one? I think so. Yeah, it probably is this one. Yeah, exactly. So these two scripts effectively do the same thing, right? They have the same goal, which is to scavenge with one village. But the scripts work in fundamentally different ways. This script has the goal of having the same runtime in every single scavenge option, which is very useful if you want to, for example, say, okay, I will leave my troops scavenging for 3 hours, all of them. Then in 3 hours I will set my alarm and I'll show up again and I will put everything to scavenge again. Which, I mean, perfect. Very convenient. But the script is the optimal version of a single village scavenging script. This guy made all the calculations, all the graphs, all the random things, and he has come to the conclusion that, well, the optimal way to scavenge is not as this one script does. The optimal way to scavenge is to instead run the script, because it runs the calculations for you, basically, and it just assigns the troops to the scavenging slots that you should be using them in, basically, from left to right. So there is a place for both scripts, first of all, and they are both used. The only difference is, this one maybe is more convenient, the one from Shinko Takuma, and this one from FM the Master probably is the most mathematically efficient script, basically. And this already causes a problem. Do they consider these scripts duplicates? And we will come to the conclusion that yes, they did, which is an issue, of course, because these scripts are, of course, very, very different, as I have tried to very quickly show you. We'll move on to the rest of the announcement. For a fuller explanation, please be sure to read all the following points. It is critical to all players that use scripts in the game. So everyone, basically. So everyone should read this. How many people read this? I have no clue. Right? Probably not many. Over the coming weeks, we will begin the process of moving scripts to the correct place. During this time, we will not be approving any scripts or ever. Once the switchover is complete, it will only be legal to use scripts on the Travel Wars International that are approved for use and hosted on the Travel Wars International server. You will easily be able to see if they are hosted by us or not. The script link will begin with. Right. So first of all, they were telling us you will still be able to see the script link. Basically, script link will begin by this. We begin with this. In reality, we cannot see the script link, and I will show you that after. Which, in my opinion, is also an issue. All private scripts will become illegal to use once the migration is complete, and will then be considered not approved. If you want to use a script, it must be publicly approved from here on out, once the approval process is open again, which, to me, sounds good. I mean, why not? You, of course, want to eliminate any sort of illegal scripts, right? And narrowing down the pool of approved scripts and making it global is just a good idea, right? It sounds really good. We will be using this opportunity to weed out the non-working scripts and will selectively remove any duplicates or almost identical scripts. There you go, almost identical is written here. So those two scripts, right, very different, probably are considered almost identical and are gotten rid of, or at least one of them is gotten rid of. I can give you more examples. Resource sender Travel Wars. Resources sender script. There you go. the script from Costache basically calculated some average of each of the resources that you had on the village, and it saw the number of merchants that you had, and it sent like the same percentage of each resource, basically. But there is another script, if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it. 5 resource sender. Well, it's here. Whatever. No. Single village. Updated resource sender for anything. Okay. So this, for example, no, this is not it. There's another script. HQ resources request. I don't think it is this. But there is another script that that basically does this, is what I'm trying to say. What you will see that has happened is that other script from Costache is not the one that shows up, and instead it is another script from Shinko, but I will show you those things later. So basically, by weeding out duplicates or similar scripts, what effectively happens, or could happen, right, if you have people who are not very knowledgeable on what these scripts that are being discussed do, well, it can just lead to functionalities being lost, basically. And that is one of my issues with this change and the way this change was implemented. So it starts from here, right? This idea of simplifying and of, in some extent, weeding out, right, the identical scripts. I think that creates an issue, and it gets rid of the nuances in scripts, right? There were many resource balancers because, well, one of them didn't fulfill all of the needs of everyone, right? And there were more players using other scripts for one simple reason, because the other scripts provided them with more functionalities that the others did not. And by filtering out these duplicate scripts, that is completely gotten rid of. Well, we'll keep reading. Once the migration is complete, we will publish a forum page showing all currently approved scripts. This will make it far easier to locate scripts that are approved for use. They didn't really go this route. They created a library inside of the game. But you get the idea from this. We intend to actively poll the community to help us choose the best scripts to keep, where there are multiple scripts performing the same thing as a part of this process. So basically, seems like they wanted to work with the community to decide which of those identical scripts is the best, basically. I'm not sure they did. I really don't think so. The only server where I saw one community manager interacting with the community regarding scripts and script library was in the French server. And by the way, I'm not in every possible community of tribal wars ever, so I could have missed some interactions between the community manager and people in other servers, of course. But I heavily believe that the servers where this collaboration existed were only a few out of the many servers that exist. These are some positive changes for the player base overall, with legal scripts being more obvious, immune for modification, and a lot easier to find. Non-working scripts will be removed, and you will no longer wonder if your opponent is using an unknown mysterious script. Where a new script comes along that replaces an older one with better functionality, we will replace the older script. Cool, sounds really cool. Now let's read the update from May 12th. This was half a year later, basically. 5 months ago, I mean, not quite. May is the 5th month, December is the 12th, different year. It's like kind of 6 months now. What am I? Yeah, it's like 6 months, whatever. I'm not gonna nitpick. We announced the change. I already did, fuck. to how scripts are managed. This change was necessary due to increasing problems for both support teams and players. The old system was not user-friendly and was at its core problematic. I agree. Having different scripts on different markets, here's another different thing. Having different scripts on different markets. This is always something that I have been against. I have always thought that there should be a centralized rule for scripts, right? Because some scripts allow you to use Temper Monkey, some scripts allow you to use extensions, browser extensions. Other scripts are completely against that. There are scripts that literally don't allow you to use fake scripts. .uk, that's the script that the server. It is a mess. It is a complete mess. So, having different scripts on different markets, I'll just keep reading, as well as a plethora of approved copies of the same script, made it impossible for players to navigate it in a reasonable way. How would you know which of the hundreds of available scripts you needed and would benefit from? Well, to be honest, this is kind of a non-issue, because there are ways. If you come here to the approved scripts list, you could just sort by votes, or even by views, right? And you would very easily find out which scripts were most viewed or most used over time, at least. It would be a good metric for it. And it's not a particularly hard thing to do or find, right? But, okay, we'll stick with it. Let's keep going. Therefore, the process began with the initial goal of hosting all scripts on the respective markets' own media servers. This would allow us to create a manageable pool of scripts, easier to browse through and easier to follow up for the different markets. To get rid of the extensive number of scripts, where many were no longer used, had dead hosts or were duplicates, all scripts globally required testing. Considering this market alone has almost 400 approved scripts, this task is huge. To avoid making it even harder, further approvals were put on hold, whatever. This is also why script updates were put on hold, to speed up the process, whatever. So, basically, hard work, for sure, going through hundreds of scripts, especially on .NET. Again, this idea that there are a lot of duplicate scripts seems a bit strange to me, but again, we'll keep going. However, as this project progressed, more questions and complexities arose across the markets. Consequently, the end goal has evolved through several steps along the way. That brings us to today, 5 months later, where it might appear that no progress has been made from a player perspective. We wanted to provide this update because the situation has been unclear from our end as well. Considering we expected it to be finished months ago when this initial announcement was made. But as issues arose, so did better solutions, and we're confident that once this is finished, the end result will benefit players, teams, and script authors alike. This all sounds great. Here is the updated goal for these changes. A common global pool of scripts will be created and hosted directly by InnoGames. Common and global pool of scripts. Common and global, okay? You're seeing this. You will then see the contrast of the final announcement. When I read this, and I did read this around this time, I was pretty happy to see this, right? No more bullshit of, okay, I'm gonna play in the Italian server now, I have to be careful because I can't use this script, because it's illegal there or something. Or I'm gonna play on .NET and, I don't know, this one script from the Italian server is illegal. This would completely get rid of that. In reality, yeah, this idea is dead. A new UI will be included to help players choose and utilize scripts more easily. Perfect. A new central way of approving scripts will be introduced. Sure, why not? A new way of submitting scripts and script updates, including a dedicated testing environment for script creators, will be added. Cool. Sounds really cool. It's under the last Q&A. Question 16. Let's see if we can find it. What was the aim behind combining the scripts and when will it be complete? The aim is to create the same pool of scripts for all markets and avoid scripts being hosted by third parties, where we won't have any control. Sounds good, right? Again, same idea of same pool of scripts for all markets. I think I reviewed this this Q&A. I think I made a video talking about the Q&As. If you are interested, just go look back at them. Keep going here. Nothing really interesting here. So now we have seen the the earliest updates, right? There was another update in August, but it was mainly directed at script creators. Everything to do with submitting their own scripts, basically. And yeah, just a call for action to the people who actually have produced the scripts. Some interesting things here in the Q&A. Not very interesting. This is interesting. Will you disallow the use of external tools such as Tamper with the introduction of script library? On the few markets that allow it, there are no plans to disallow it as part of the script library update, which means in the near future. Again, this is strange, first of all, because, well, I had it open, right? Where was it? A common global pool of scripts, right? Common global pool of scripts, and there are no plans to disallow the use of Tamper in the servers that allow it. So this already, there is a discrepancy here, right? If Tamper is allowed in some and Tamper is not allowed in others, there isn't a global pool of scripts. I mean, sure, there is a common global pool, but it's not like fully common in the sense that there's scripts beyond just that, right? So that's something. However, the legality of Tamper on those markets may be evaluated at some point beyond that, whatever. It's kind of anything useful here? Oh, right, guys, look at this. Will all scripts be available on all markets? No. Although all markets can source from the same pool of scripts, each market may have its own selection based on legacy rules and local preferences. Right. Okay, guys. What happened to the common global pool of scripts? What made this change? What happened? So here you can already see there was some random change of thought, right? Which I do not agree with. That is definitely something I do not agree with. Do I understand it? Yes. I mean, if people on the UK server would rather not seeing fake scripts, then, I mean, sure, I suppose fake scripts should not be legalized, but when you can just use the map farm, the how are they called? The fast attacks feature in the game to send fakes quickly through the map, why would you ever even need fake scripts, right? The idea is the exact same. It's just that sending with fake scripts is way more targeted because it fills the command with the coordinates, right? It's just a way more targeted thing than sending through the map. But it's not like the effect is any different. You can still send hundreds of attacks through the map with the fast attacks feature. It is a bit unjustifiable, in my opinion, for fake scripts to not be legal. But anyway, that and many other nuances, right? Like, for example, on IT and Hungary and CZ, I think some other, I'm not sure. The map farm script was legal. The one script that I've used multiple times to collect the barbarians that I do not have in the farm assistant into the farm assistant. Which is just a super useful script, right? And, I mean, what I would like to have seen from this update, right, would be to have seen that script be allowed in every server, because it doesn't do anything automatic. The idea is good, the script is like up to date, it functions well, all of those things. It would meet all of the criteria, right? But still no, right? From this, the conclusion that we take is that, well, clearly, not all of the servers will have the same scripts. Which again, it is what it is, I suppose. Why did they do this? I have no clue. Did they ask a majority of the players in the game if they would rather each server keeping their legacy rules, or if they would rather all the servers having the same rules? Well, no, they did none of that, and they actually had been like running random polls inside of the game, like sort of like polling players on like the most random questions, such as should self-bashing be considered into the opponent's defeated statistics, like random things, when in reality that should be something nuanced. Like it might make sense in some cases and it might not make sense in others, and well, there should just be a setting that allows you to turn that on and off, like with so many other things in Tribal Wars. And well, they've decided to launch a poll that asks a question about that and other things. They haven't launched polls, I think, in a while, but the idea is good, like, right, getting the ideas of players. The execution was not so good, but anyway, the idea behind it is good, and they could have done something like that for this change. I, by the way, don't even know if any global message in any server has ever been sent regarding the script library. Like, are people who just like play random worlds aware that this is a thing? That is my question. I am not too sure of that. Okay, now let's see the last announcement. It's been here for a very long time, half an hour at this point. So this is the latest announcement from 15 days ago, around that. And it basically just tells us that script library is now available on the beta server, and we will take a look at it after reading this announcement. Dear ladies and lords, we are excited to release whatever. I'll just skip all of that. Thank you for your patience, whatever. Script library will be coming, you'll find it here, whatever, relevant. The pool of scripts available on beta is not guaranteed to be the final selection for any given market. Okay. Different markets may have different scripts available based on legacy rules and local arrangements. Sad, but I suppose, okay, whatever. We encourage everyone to test now. This is the best moment to identify issues, gather feedback, and make further improvements before we roll the feature out on live servers, which sounds great. And by the way, the pool of scripts available on beta is not guaranteed to be the final selection for any given market. Okay, but there are a lot of scripts that are missing on that selection, which I will show you very soon, and you'll be able to see. Does that tell me that those scripts may be added down the line? I have no clue. I would like to have seen those scripts there, even if they aren't functioning right now. Just for people to have an idea that, okay, this script is being worked on and we will add it. It's not here yet, but at least there is an idea that we will add it, or like the script is being worked on, the code is being changed, whatever. But it's just not there, right? The biggest example of that is a script that everyone uses, Farm God, to farm in worlds. But there are many others, and I will show you soon. Our current estimate is that we will implement the script library on live servers sometime in April 2026. April is 2 months away, by the way. 2 months. Do you remember how long they took to implement this? Do you still remember? It was like 1 year and 3 months, basically. They first started talking about it in December 2024. February 10th is when this announcement came out. So 1 year and 3 months. Right, not all of this time was spent developing this feature, of course. A lot of the time was spent going through the scripts, no doubt. But for the fact that there are still some scripts missing, I would risk saying that I don't think this is ready in April 2026. Because this being ready in April 2026 means that, well, I would hope you know what this means, right? It means that only scripts within the library will be legal. Apparently, there will be a transition phase. We'll look at that. But yeah, it opens the way for that to become the only way for scripts to exist and to be legal. So I would just hope that before then, every single script that players use is there, right? Just what I would hope, right? Because these are scripts that have been legal sometimes for years, and if they are not there, a lot of people will be looking for their favorite scripts, right, to add to their quick bar and use them legally, and they will not find it. They will not find them, and they will be a bit demotivated, I can tell you already. Or they will have to find alternatives, and who knows, as I've showed you earlier, those alternatives may not work in the same way. Let's say I am used to using the single village scavenging script from FM the Master that I've shown you earlier, that is mathematically superior in comparison to the script from Shinku. But now only the script from Shinku shows up. Well, I guess I just have to get used to using a worse script, right? That's the outcome that we're seeing here. We're seeing loss of features, we're seeing nuances between scripts being lost. Anyway, I'll get to that. Let's keep reading. Script functionality and responsibility. It may happen that a script does not work as expected. In such cases, please remember that the script creator is responsible for maintaining and fixing their script. If you encounter any problems, contact the creator directly. Sounds good to me. Why not? Script creators, please note, scripts cannot be configured anymore by editing their codes. For example, to enter village coordinates. If you play Tribal Wars, and you play the game regularly, you will know how big of an issue this is. Fake scripts, most of them, and mainly the old ones, of course, which is what people use the most. They require editing for you to be able to send fakes, right? They require you manually changing the code and inputting the village coordinates. I mean, I myself did that. I have literally one file here that I used very frequently. If you've watched me play with other people in a team versus team round, you will probably have seen me setting this up. No, this is not the... Is this the... No, it's this. And you will have seen me change these coordinates here. And the reason I did this was because I would then just give everyone... which script? Is it fakes? Is it this one? Yes, exactly. I would just give everyone this script. This script picks up the code from my Dropbox, right? So this silly file that I have opened, right? And here I would just input the coordinates of the enemy team, and I would just use this to save the time of my teammates, right? To make sure that they did not have to change their script. They could just use the same exact code, and I was the one that would just update the coordinates whenever necessary. Just a way to save time. This will be no longer possible. Well, for multiple reasons. First of all, I will not be allowed to use this script, right? Because it's not approved. Second of all, even if this script was approved, I would have to probably request to change it every time I wanted to, which would be funny. Imagine I'm playing a speed round, and I want to add in the coordinates of my enemies to the fake script, and I have to like open a ticket or something to ask them to edit the script to put in the right coordinates or something. That would be very silly. So basically, what this does is, nowadays, what they want scripts to include is, please consider offering an in-game menu or a similar interface for all settings. Creators are responsible for ensuring their scripts follow current rules and include such a configuration option. So what they want fake scripts to function like is, well, you run the script, some sort of interface shows up where you set it up, you fill in with the units that you want to send, you write in the coordinates, you write in whatever you'd like, and then you run the script, which is just more time consuming and more complex than this script that we are running, right? This script is literally just a copy of, how is it called? Smart, simple, fake script. This script, right? It's literally just a copy of this script, right? You can see this is literally the code that I have here. And I just put it on my own Dropbox because, well, it's that thing that I said of just editing the coordinates to make it simpler for my teammates to just pick them up. So this thing of like changing the ratio of the spies and changing the coordinates would have to be done inside of the script. So imagine I am a tribe leader, right? I'm a tribe leader and I have selected the villages that I want my tribe mates to fake. Well, in the past, I could just send them a script with the coordinates, right? Something like this. Right? I would just copy paste this, would send a global message to my tribe, and I would tell them to just run this script on their rally point. Easy enough. Nowadays, what will have to be done is leaders will instead have to send the coordinates and just hope for the best that their members will know how to interact with some fake script that who knows which fake script it will be, right? And that they will know how to use it properly and all of those things. So that, to me, is an issue because, of course, it just gets rid of the old simplicity, like this old simplicity that people were used to, people like me, right? Of course, I am speaking from a sort of not even nostalgic perspective. I don't think it's a nostalgic perspective. It's just a sort of simple perspective. It's the perspective of someone who wants to simplify the game as much as possible and to make the game as strategic as possible. And things like these are not strategic. Setting up a fake script, that there is no strategy behind that. You put in the coordinates that you want and you use it on the rally point. It's as simple as that. So this should not be something that players have to spend time doing, basically. And in the way scripts worked before, well, you could just edit the code. It functioned much better. And in the beginning, you remember what was said, right? You will easily be able to see if they are hosted by us or not. The script link will begin with this. So in the beginning, they were not planning for this to be a thing. Once again, another random thing that they decided to like switch on for some reason. Like, why did they randomly decide that, oh, players don't need to configure their scripts anymore or whatever by editing the code, so we'll just get rid of it and now they can't see the code. Simple as that. Who decided that this was a good idea? Just who? Because I really would like to understand. Is the person who decided that this was a good idea someone who has ever played the game? Because in my opinion, it is not. Like, it makes no sense. If you are someone who regularly plays the game, you probably will have the same opinion as me. Or maybe you are just used to using some new script that has that interface, and so it doesn't really bother you that you have to configure it after launching the script itself. But the reality is that this removes this layer of simplicity and efficiency that, especially for us speed players like me, had like all set up and almost like mechanized over the years, right? We've turned this into a very mechanized sort of art, right? We'll call it that. Because the focus of the players should be on the game and not on the scripts that we are using. So whatever is the simplest thing we could find and use is what we used, which makes complete sense. So this, to me, already a really big issue, and I'm sure plenty of you listening, if anyone still even is listening, but that I mean, I hope so. I know this is long, but I think it is worth. It is something that will impact a lot of people and the way a lot of people play the game. So, and in my opinion, for worse. So, something for you to raise awareness for, right? To share with your tribe mates, to make noise about, to go to the forum to complain that this is a thing. Because if it is only me telling them that, oh, this makes no sense, well, I'm one player in thousands, right? They will not change something because I think it would be better to do it in a different way. Anyway, probably is enough for that one topic. Let's keep reading. Submitting new or updated scripts. If a script creator would like to submit a new script or an updated version to the library, they can do so by sending a support ticket via the markets where they would like it to be available. We will review the script, assess its legality, and where applicable make the script available to other markets as well. Please check here on how to submit a script and a template. I will not bother with this. You can find this on the forum if you are someone who writes scripts and who is interested in this. Future legality of scripts. There will be a transition phase where both the existing methods and the new script library will be options. However, in the future, only scripts available within the script library will be deemed legal. Any outside script, even if it provides identical features, will be considered illegal to use. Again, in my opinion, an issue, right? Because, as I've shown you, with that smart fake script, right? This is the legal version. I could use it, and I could make all of my tribe mates use it, and I could send them the list of coordinates, and I could have them individually substituting the list of coordinates on the script, or I could just send them the link of the script that comes from my Dropbox, and that I edit, and instead of 10 players having to edit it, only one has to edit it, and everyone has it available, right? Simplicity. Ease of access to this, trying to facilitate the life of my teammates, all of those things, no longer possible, because, of course, I will not be able to use this one script that comes from my Dropbox. Simply not legal anymore. So, again, problematic. I don't think that the script library should be the only way for you to have legal scripts. I think that you should be able to hold your own copies of it if there is a reason for it, right? And in my case, there is a very clear reason for it. Other examples of this, for example, fake script generator. There were scripts, like this one, for example, where, like this one, where you would input info on the script. If it loads, please. So you would input info, number of troops, coordinates, whatever. And what would it do? It would generate a script. Wait. I'm not sure. Is it like redirecting? No. I think it... Wait. I'm a bit confused. And it will generate script. Okay, right. There we go. Generate script. So, scripts like these, simple scripts, that would be script generators, right? Also no longer allowed, because, well, even if the fake script generator is legal, which, by the way, I think it is, that's really, really funny. They have added something that allows for something illegal to be used into the only way for you to use scripts legally. Anyway, I'll show you that after. Scripts like these will no longer make sense, because you can't just copy this one link, this one script, right, to add in your quickfire, because you will not be able to add anything external to the quickfire, or else you will be considered a cheater, basically. Anyway, things like these will be very damaged by this change. Anyway, let's keep going. This feature is a major step forward for tribal wars, since it opens up powerful tools to anyone, not just those with advanced technical knowledge, which, I mean, sounds perfect to me. It provides a unified, bit of a weird way to say it, user-friendly way to use scripts safely and helps us fight illegal scripts that undermine fair play and the integrity of the game. We will be closely monitoring your feedback to see if there are any issues with missing features, and we will not take away anything from you until we have found a way to provide a similar experience. Which, well, thank you. I mean, I would hope so. We are genuinely excited to see what you do with the script library and how it will improve your gameplay experience. I don't know about improve. I mean, at most it stays the same, right? Okay. Please join us on beta, explore the new options, and share your feedback with your local market community manager and in the dedicated Discord and forum threads. For the first 14 days, testers can enjoy a free premium account. This is a bit of a mess because, well, they didn't give a free premium account in the correct way, but I will not won't really talk about that. So here we are on the .NET server, .works server, so the beta server, where for some reason there are people playing to win and have multiple villages, when in reality this is in theory just a test server that people should be using to test the new feature. Yeah, God knows why they hold the test servers in random normal worlds when they could just open like a speed 400 round for people to test things properly. And this also will be a reason why I cannot fully show you everything, because I can't even use some of the scripts. Like, for example, there is no farm assistant. There is no farm assistant. How am I going to test any farm script if there is no farm assistant? So amazing idea from whoever set this world up, which again, don't know who that person is, but come on, I would hope you have a little bit more knowledge on the game you are an admin over, basically. Anyway, for you to find the library, you will have to come over to Quick Warrant Scripts, and you have this new section that says Activate Community Script. You click it, and you have this new interface. This is the script library. Community scripts are developed and maintained by members of our community and are always accessible here for convenience. Traveler's team cannot guarantee that community scripts will always work, whatever. All of those things. Script. What do we have here? We have all of the scripts. Not all of these scripts will be available in every server, as said before, right? So there are scripts here that will only be available in the Hungarian server or whatever, and maybe you think the script would be useful, but maybe it will not even ever be seen on your server. That's number one issue, right? Just a really strange thing. Second thing, well, you come here and you see that there are some scripts that are very well written about. Advanced report filters, you can see that scripts from Red Alert, other scripts from like more well-known developers have a bigger description, more interesting. And then there's this better map, description better map. What the fuck do you mean better map? But I can come to the forum post. I can hopefully try to understand why it is better map. It does basically shows the player names on the map and their villages. It can make the background of the text for a certain player tribe barbs a color to easier identify them. Okay, I mean, cool. Can we put that in the description, guy, please? It's not such a big text. Just like something like that. Anyway, so that's one issue. Some calculator description. Calculator. Alright, sounds good. Well, let's see what the calculator does. Let's add it. Calculator. And you can see, if you go to edit, script calculator, I no longer can touch the code. Right, let's click calculator. Oh, it's okay, it actually is just a calculator. I'm actually amused by this. Why is there a calculator script? Why? What? Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't really understand what they meant by simplifying scripts. There is a calculator script when you can just can just do this. Okay, guys, maybe we need a calculator script. Don't worry. Maybe there's like one person that uses that, and I mean, if that is the case, can't really criticize you for it. But yeah, you can see really big library here of scripts. Some scripts have one line of data. Filter by resources. Filter by resources. Farms in research tab. Farm research. Just there's some scripts here that I have no clue what they do. Hide rows of the loot assistant. Okay, but based on what? Based on anyway. Oh, hide farming rows above wall level X. So do these scripts do the same thing? I have no clue. Maybe they do. But they probably come from different servers, right? Oh no, they don't. Oh, this one is from me. Ha. I don't even remember this. Function is very basic when you farm. You click on the letter. After you use the script, it hides the row you have clicked. What the fuck, my English was terrible. Oh, I think I know what this is then. You just... For example, if you are farming with the farm villages that you are also attacking, if you use the script, those rows will be hidden, by the way, if you think that would be a better way to view it. It's an okay script, but still, could be a bit more descriptive here, like, I mean, I could have contributed for it if they had asked me to, right? I didn't even know the script was here. I don't even remember what these scripts are. Anyway, it's been a while. Okay. So you get the idea more or less of what this is. And as I said in the beginning, I am very in favor of this. This looks great, right? Just getting your scripts all in this one specific location. It's just super helpful for also like new players who might want to just navigate the available scripts. The idea is really good, but let's, for example, look for Farm God, right? Farm God, a normal script. It doesn't exist. Everyone uses Farm God. Literally everyone uses Farm God in basically every server that I am aware of to farm, right? It doesn't exist. Enhancer. LA Enhancer. Not here. Doesn't exist. Another big script. Keypress. Well, this one exists. But, spoiler alert, this isn't the correct version of Keypress, which is Keypress optimized. If you look for it, you'll find it easily. Author Crimsoni, contributors to Quacks, whatever. This is a really good edited version of Keypress. It's the one that I use for speeds. And it's not here. This version is an old French version, I think. So it's not here. So, guys, it's like I look for 3 farm scripts. The only one that exists has a shit version from like 2012. Really? Really? We have taken 1 year and 3 months going through scripts for this to be the outcome. You see what I mean? It's just a little bit underwhelming. Just a little bit. A little bit. Those things that I was talking about. Single village scavenging. There's one from the GR admin team. Don't know what script this is. I have no clue. GR admin team. That's not a script author as far as I'm aware, but let's see. Scavenge. Single village scavenge, this one. There we go. Single village scavenging. No. This. Oh yes, okay, it's in Greek. Okay, right. Okay. So there is no single village scavenging script beyond that, or is there scavenging? I should write it properly. Scavenging, balanced scavenging. This also tells me nothing. Mass scavenging options unlocked. Okay, that's a good script. Mass scavenging, yes, good script. Scavenging assistant. So that the time is the same for all levels. Okay. So this is the same script from Shinku, I think. Unless this guy is the original author, I have no clue. Skip will show all the current rounds, whether a category is locked, whatever. So where is the single village scavenging script? The ones that I've shown you in the beginning. The one from FM that is allowed on .NET, the village that I have talked about why it is good, all of those things. It's not here. Why is it not here? Is it the same as any other script? I don't think it is. Single village speed scavenging. I think this one is the one that I've told you that is here, right? Out of these two, this one is here. Also, it's really strange. Some things are linked, other things aren't linked. It just seems very unfinished. They have released this to the public in a very unfinished state. It's a bit just annoying to see this in this state when it probably wouldn't require so much work to have this be in a proper state, right? Because all of these scripts come from forum topics. Why are some linked and some aren't? Why are scripts missing when they do not do the same thing? It just makes no sense to me at all. Other example, resource sender. Resource sender. Unknown. The script sends resources to a target village. I can't see what script this is. I will add it and try to figure it out. But resource sender. Okay, it's Hungarian. Okay, that's not the script that I was looking for. Resource sender. Resource sender quickly send resources to target coordinate, leaving a percentage of your warehouse in its village behind of your choosing. This is once again not that single village sender that I've shown you. Resource sender tribal bots. Like, even if you look for the same things here, like resource sender, if you look for resource sender, that is not the script that will show up. So that probably just tells me that this script is way less used than this one. But this one is the one that is there for some reason. Who knows why. So yeah, that's that, I suppose. Another case of a script being similar and they just added one of them. They probably do very different things. I mean, they very clearly do. And just one of them is available. Who knows why? Yeah, I think you get the idea at this point. It's just something that feels unfinished. A lot of things are missing. For some reason, they've decided to release this now. They want to release it in April to the game. Who knows when they are going to make this the only way to use scripts legally? I have no clue. But I also have no reason to believe that they won't just do it sometime soon or something. I don't know. It's just strange, right? It's just a little bit strange. This is the best way I can put it. Because with how much time they've dedicated to it, I would just expect something a little bit more curated, something a little bit better, something more considerate of how people play the game, right? If I look for fakes, input the troops for fake attacks. Script inputs the troops needed for an attack, making it easier to send fakes. You can choose the units the script can use, or whether the attack must include scouts. Let's see. This probably uses... Oh, right. I have no catapults and no rams. I think that's Polish. So again, I couldn't input anything. Guess why? Guess why I couldn't input anything? Because I can't change the fucking code. And why can't I change the code? I don't know. But someone thought that would be a good idea. Fake. coordinate list generator. No, dynamic script, fake script. From Shinku it might be up to date. Fake script, up to date. Fake script generator. Fake script generator. I've shown you one of those, right? You have to be in the profile of a player. Alright. So now we have a fake script. What am I gonna do with this script if I can't use it legally? Right? You see what I'm talking about? So, fake script generator. I can't use the script that is being generated by this. Amazing, right? Just amazing. There's another fake script generator. Do they do the same thing? I have no clue, right? I can't criticize that. Let's see what they do. Tidy. Generate the list. They seem to do the same thing. Maybe one does it randomly and one does it in an orderly way. I don't know. I don't use this script, so I can't criticize the fact that they both exist here. Of course, they could do something different. But yeah, you can see the funny thing, right, of this update is that there's just, well, a script here that in theory should not be legal, right? Or they do something that leads to people doing illegal things, if that makes sense, because I am not allowed to then use that that script that script generates. Anyway, the way this was done, the way the scripts were selected, I'll give you a peek at that. Let me see if I can find it. What is that? Here. Script database. This one. Each server went through scripts that are allowed on their server, and they have submitted them to be added into this database. The thing is, well, some scripts, some servers did a good job, and others didn't do anything at all. Let's just put it that way. For example, AE, Arabic server. No scripts. Amazing. Let's look at the Arabic server. Bible words.ae. So, I'll translate this, please. Of course, I cannot read this language. Forum. Technology department. Scripts not working. Scripts and game tools section. Arabic. Scripts not working. List of updated scripts. New list. So these guys very clearly, example, have a list of scripts here that they use. They hosted them themselves. This is like different. This is significantly different from any other resource balancer. So this server, for example, you can see, has done nothing. Like the community manager did absolutely nothing. Or these scripts are just all so irrelevant and no one uses them that I suppose we don't need any scripts from the Arabic server, right? And who knows, maybe these scripts are in Arabic and they would be helpful for the Arabic server players, right? And I mean, I would assume a lot of these players don't really understand English, so good luck using scripts that are not translated into your language. And yeah, just one of those cases where very clearly there wasn't global work done by like a specific list of people, right, to look at all of the scripts that are used and collect things from all. This was done market by market. This was done by each community manager, and of course you would hope that the community manager of each server wants to improve the situation of the players in their server. But I mean, here, very clear case of no scripts from the Arabic server. Okay, interesting. Czech Republic, there's a few, right? Okay, there probably are more scripts on that server that should be here, I would imagine. I mean, a lot of them are surely scripts that are legal elsewhere, but let's see if there's some something else. Looting assistant controlled from the map. This script is the alien map script, for example. It's the one that we use for speeds a lot. I can look for it, right? Alien map. No, doesn't exist. Map farm. Map farming script. Templates must be set in the farm manager, then you go to the map, you have to click on the script there again. Only the barbarian villages remain visible on the map. After one click, the script starts to select the template. This, to be honest, from what this says, it feels like this is an automatic script. But again, because the settings of this server are really good, I can't test it. I just can't test it. And of course, it's in Hungarian, I have no clue what it says. But yeah, it does hide everything. It's not translating. Fuck. Yeah, I can choose which model to use. I don't know if this script is like the map farm script that we use. Maybe it is. But even if it is, who knows? Maybe the script will only be available on the .NET on the Hungarian server. Right? I have no clue. So yeah, another case of script very clearly legal here. And it's not one of the scripts that is here. Who knows why, right? Just have no clue at all. Impossible to know. UK did a more thorough job. Let's say they definitely have less script makers active, I would say, but they have a bigger list of scripts. FR as well, like decent job, right? These are probably scripts that are just different to scripts from other servers, and they wanted to have them approved. NL! 2 scripts from the Netherlands. Right, they have always been a server that uses a bunch of scripts that no one else does. But there's only 2 extra scripts from the Netherlands added into this. Okay, sounds interesting. Germany also. This feels like few, to be honest, but okay, whatever. GR, some scripts. IT, 1 random script. Coordinate extractor. I mean, there's a billion coordinate extractors, but we just needed this one, right? And it says it came from Italy, but the script is on the .NET server. Huh? What? Why is this from Italy? Okay. Again, this just goes to show the mess that this whole thing is. BR, but that probably makes no sense because BR scripts are the same as .NET's. Romania, for example. Romania, big server. Who knows how the script rules in Romania are? I think script rules is you turn on the bot and you play with the bot. Normally in Romania that's how it goes. Independent links and tools. Where is the scripts server? Script library, scriptures, important scriptures? What the fuck? Okay, so the scripts are here. Script farm approval proposal. The script is already in the collection. List of approved scripts. Collection of approved scripts. So we have a bunch of scripts here. Yeah, were any of these scripts sent to... Okay, this one is clearly in Romanian. For example, this probably should be here, right? It was not added. So again, another community manager that probably did nothing. Didn't go through the script. Russia, I have no clue. The Russian server is not so big. But only 1 script. Slovakia also some, whatever. Anyway, you get the idea. It feels incomplete. Look at Hungary, by the way. They did such a good job. Like these guys. Hungary is a server with like 1,000 players per world, by the way. And they added all of these scripts. I mean, just good job and thank you. Like, really, like at this point, these guys have done a lot more than they probably would be expected to. So, I mean, these guys Massive W for them. Yeah, they did a lot of work in the Hungarian server. But the most were not like the Hungarian server, right? It's okay, a lot from Poland as well, that's good. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. But you get the idea more or less, right? A lot of these scripts are missing. A lot of scripts that should be in the list of scripts that are allowed, right? They're just not there. There's also this list of new scripts, random approvals, whatever. My theory is that these scripts were probably why can't I log in? Whatever. Were probably those hidden scripts, private scripts. Anyway, yeah. Think it is enough for going through the scripts. Let me go back to my sort of text I wrote about this, and we'll go through quickly and discuss some things regarding this. We've been here for so long. I'm really sorry for doing this to you. If anyone still is listening to this, I mean, I have. But yeah, you know how I am. I just yap. I talk a lot. Ease of access to scripts is undeniable. Plus, this is a platform to later be expanded and to implement script packs. For example, later on, who knows, maybe we can have a speeds script pack, right? That would be cool. You log into Speed, and you have a speeds script pack that you just import, and you get all of the scripts into your QuickBar. Sounds amazing, right? Sounds really good. More control when it comes to moderation. That is not something I've discussed yet, but the fact that this is going to centralize the scripts into sort of limited selection of scripts that can be used will probably really help moderating things, especially because, well, they will know that anything else added in the QuickBar is illegal, right? But once again, I doubt this will do a lot in the way of stopping bots, because of course none of these scripts are bots. They're just legal scripts, and the reality is that so many people just use bots, and Tribal Wars is a browser game. It is very hard for them to make bots unusable, because people can just run things on the browser, right? And well, in the end, they can't really control what people run on the browser. So, and it does feel like a win when it comes to moderation, but it also feels like it's like a mixed bag. It's like it helps, but very, very partially. And in reality, you just don't really know if they are going to commit to doing anything to actually moderate properly, right? Like, I have been aware, for example, of a group of people on the World 150 on .NET. Net probably is one of the best moderated servers, by the way. I have been made aware of a group of people who just used some platform to host a ton of proxies, and through that they just created a bunch of multis. They've just ran some auto builder to make it a bit less obvious that they are using an auto builder. They didn't use the same order of construction in the villages, and then they just internaled all of those villages. They just conquered them all with 1-2 accounts, hundreds of villages split between 2-3 accounts, and zero bans, just no bans. No bans for pushing, no bans for cheating, know anything to any of those accounts. So again, I just would like to know if that is ever going to change, basically. Negatives. There are less active developers nowadays, and I think that this has to be done in conjunction with more changes by the devs towards the game. And I should talk about updates and changes. I want, because we've been here for too long, I can do that in a future video if you want me to, but I have been seeing way more updates to the game that actually give me some hope, right? I mean, if you look at the update list, it just looks like they are doing things, right? Improvements, bug fixes, amazing. In the past, they were doing nothing. I mean, I can look at the previous updates, there's always like some little things, and there were so many times where the updates looked like this, one thing, we've upgraded like one thing or whatever, or like this, we've adjusted the quest, whatever. Nice update. And now it feels like they are doing more things, which is great, by the way, like really, really happy to see. And I think that that is giving the game the love that it needs. But yeah, in my opinion, what I mean by this is players will probably feel like some things are missing, and while in the past there probably were a lot of people coding for the game, nowadays the people that are coding are just using ChatGPT. They can't really update their scripts because they have no clue on how to code. And of course the 2 or 3 big script creators, the Red Alerts, the Shinko Tokumas, they can't have a billion more scripts. They are not paid to do this, right? And they can't constantly monitor all of their scripts to make sure that everything is working properly. So ultimately I think that the idea is good, but it might work as a way to discourage people from creating new scripts, because the approval process is just a little bit more complex now. And yeah, simplifying scripts includes getting rid of copies. I've already talked about that a lot. Yeah, and again, it's really good to cut down on the amount of available scripts because they are similar. I've talked a lot about this, and you have already realized how tilted I am because of this. I just think it's a terrible change. The fact that they have gotten rid of scripts that are similar but they do not do the same thing at all is, to me, a really big issue. Of course, it's very unfinished, lots of script missing, and of course, differences between servers. Cheater servers versus legit servers. This will be something that will affect mainly the servers that play legit, right? The Italian server, the Spanish servers that are a bit more just like back in time, let's put it that way. They are servers that don't see a lot of cheating, and well, it's great, right? This is something that will be very impactful to them, because the people that used the scripts, normal deal scripts, will have to adapt and will have to use this new feature. And cheat servers, PTBR, mainly are the two that immediately come to mind. You've probably heard me talk about those a lot. They are probably not going to be very impacted by this, if I'm being honest. I mean, if I ask any random PT server player what scripts they use, they will tell me they use the automatic mass scavenger, the automatic balancer, the automatic whatever the fuck. Everything is automatic. Nothing touches the quick bar inside of the game. So they really don't give a shit about this update, right? If the moderation will be good and will be able to, for example, detect that these players are using a balancer, right, and they are not using anything inside of the game, inside of the quick bar, and with that info they will like ban these users, then I will be very happy with that, and we will see a big decrease in the amount of people using automatic things. I really do think so. But will they do that? I don't know. Hope so. Co-play servers or no co-play servers? I mainly had this in mind because of the thing that I said above as well, the cheater servers or no cheater servers. Because co-playing is kinda, I mean, cheating the fact that humans need sleep, right? And, well, if you are co-playing, you are bypassing that need for sleeping. These scripts are not automatic, so I doubt they will do a lot in any sense for people who co-play and for people who don't. So, I mean, again, well, we'll see. We'll see what comes out of this. And again, this is just small ideas. Why are people not talking about this? People just don't know about this, or people will just keep cheating. I don't know. Yeah, that is pretty much all. That is pretty much all that I've wanted to tell you today. I've been here yapping for a very long time. I will let you go. I would like to share this topic with you, but I don't know how much more time I would like to be here for. There's good criticism, especially on the .NET server topic, but on the German and Polish topics there are also some interesting comments that I encourage you to look at and to interact with, of course, because you should be worried about this, as I have tried to make you believe along the course of this video. These people have a different opinion in comparison to me. For example, Olve mentions that there are 4 different village rename scripts that pop up. Wasn't the main selling point of this to reduce the amount of duplicate scripts? There are like 8 different troop counter scripts with no descriptions on how to use. Yes, very strange and messy. There should be descriptions, first of all. And I don't dislike the fact that there are 8 different troop counters. I think that gives people a different way to visualize their troop amounts based on, well, just how they would like to see it, basically, which they would prefer. Because for those scripts, I think it is just hard to say that one is better than the other. So while I am not against the fact that there are different scripts for the same thing, I am against the fact that there aren't enough different scripts for the same thing, basically, which is a silly thing. But I hope you understand where I'm coming from, and I've tried to explain. I'm just gonna go through these. You can pause the video if you would like to read a bit more deeply what is being said here. I commented on this. I mentioned a lot of the things that I have mentioned in this video here. I made some recommendations. I didn't comment on that in this video because, I mean, it's not like InnoGames is going to be watching this game. Although, I would definitely like for them to. They had a good chat with Nova here, although she didn't answer the message I sent after this one. Oh, she did. Never mind. No, this is an older one, which I answered, and she did not yet. But that is all from me. I hope that you found this useful. I hope that you enjoyed this 1 hour and a half of your life. Holy shit, no one's gonna watch this. Well, comment something if you got here. I doubt that anyone did. but hopefully we'll try to have timestamps on the video to guide people a little bit better through. And yeah, that is about all from me. This is something big. This is something big. I like the idea. I think we are very early stages. And I think that a lot of decisions were made without consulting with players and without understanding the needs of players. In the sense that there's nuances in different script versions. There's a need for editing the script code in a lot of scripts. And by not editing the script code, there's like scripts that show up that shouldn't show up. There's just an added level of complexity that is just annoying, right? As I've explained, it's just not compatible. A lot of the things that they've done are just not compatible with the idea of simplifying the access to scripts. And I hope that is corrected, and I hope a lot of the things that I mentioned here are handled in some way. I really hope so. Yeah, I wish you all the best, and well, leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and come chat with me in Discord or whatever if you would like to. That's all from me. See ya next time, whenever I decide that thinking about Tribal Wars is a good idea, which it very often isn't, but I always keep finding my way back to this game. Anyway, that's that. See you guys. Well, hello! I am back because even before releasing this video that I already recorded a while ago, they've released an update. They made a new announcement. They wanted to go through it. Of course, as it addresses a lot of the criticism that I talked about in my video, and we can take a look at it again. So yeah, I mean, everything I said still definitely applies. Definitely still are concerns with how it all works. But let's go through this and finish the video with this update. Thank you. The feedback you shared after the beta launch of the script library has been incredibly valuable. Whatever. The first iteration wasn't where it needed to be. And rather than pushing forward prematurely, we made the decision to take the time to get this right. This is good. This is very good. I mean, they didn't even have a lot of outrage for it. Though, I mean, no one reads the forums, so I don't think they would ever have any outrage for anything. Or a lot of it, at least. But yeah. On March 10th, we're launching a new testing phase and on our dedicated server ZZ1. So that's on Tribal Wars Works. Tribal Wars Works. Beta 1. I already am on the server, we'll take a look at it after, but not much changed in the way of scripts. They changed some functionalities, I guess, but a lot of it also is not there yet. These are just like ideas, I think. So let's keep going. Here is a look at what we're working on next. Script library goes free. One of the biggest changes, the script library and quickbar will no longer require a premium account. That is really big, honestly, because, I mean, in my opinion, one of the biggest things of using a premium account was the fact that, well, you could use scripts. So to me that is a really big thing. I mean, you will always buy a premium account regardless. There's way too many advantages that it gives you. There's better map visibility, there's, well, queuing more than 2 things in the headquarters. So people won't stop buying the premium account. And I think this is it's a good thing. I mean, it allows people to get used to using the fast access bar, even for building shortcuts, as we often do in speed. But, well, without having to buy premium. So this helps a lot, and this will, even for people who, for example, want to go play speeds in a random server where they don't have premium, this makes the game experience slightly better. Not infinitely better, of course. You still have to get farm assistant and all that, but it improves things a little bit. This is something that I like, and I have not even ever thought about this, but I'm glad they did this, so that's cool. Our goal has always been to make powerful tools accessible to everyone, and this is us putting it into action. That's great. That is really good. Note, some scripts may still require a premium account for specific in-game features to function. This will always be clearly indicated. That's cool. That is amazing. That is really nice. I think that the reason why they did this is because some people were expressing concerns over the fact that some scripts said that they could be used without premium account in the descriptions themselves. But then, for you to have access to the script library, you had to have premium account, which is like strange, right? Okay, you can use this without premium account, but you won't even see this unless you have premium account. So I do like this, and that's really good. That is really, really nice. Let's keep going. A better, smarter interface. We're giving the UI a proper overhaul. The script library will get its own dedicated menu entry under settings, separate from the quick bar, making navigation much cleaner, which is great. I mean, you will have seen in the rest of my video earlier, if you didn't just skip to this later part, well, it was like somewhere hidden inside of the quick bar section. It was in a pretty strange place, we'll just put it that way, and now it will get its own dedicated menu entry. Good update, very nice. Filters are getting a major upgrade. You'll be able to sort and filter by author, topic, rating, most used, and newly added or updated scripts. Cool, very cool, very cool. Really nothing to point out on this one. A lot of people were asking about things like these. It makes complete sense. Script descriptions will support BB code formatting, so authors can present their work properly. This is for descriptions. That's cool. I mean, why not? Just a why not thing, for sure. A thumbs up and thumbs down voting system with a counter will help you spot the best scripts at a glance. This is something that even I talked about in the rest of the video before. There just has to be some way for people to actually find the better scripts, because one thing is saying, oh, we will simplify the scripts interface and making scripts available to everyone, and then other thing is, well, people going to that scripts interface and finding in the first place a script that renames villages or something. Like, that is like useful, but not as useful as things like a balancer script or a scavenging script or whatever. And this system will work like it works in the forum. Like if you go to the forum of .NET, you go to the script section, you go to the approved script section, and you can filter by sort by votes. There you go. And the first script is warehouse balancer, the second script is mass scavenging script, third script is vault. So these are really big scripts that are used by a lot of people. And again, by the way, it's not like many people voted. Top script has 23 votes, and then 12, 9, 8, whatever. So not a lot of people voted here, but in-game this will be very different, and there will be people voting more on these, and there will be a better understanding of what is best. My only concern with this, if that even makes sense, is if the votes will be based on each server, or if the votes will be based on like every single server. Because, for example, there are scripts that are basically used in every server, like, well, the warehouse balancer script, mass scavenging, I don't know, but I assume so. Let's assume that those scripts are used in every server. But you've also got the case where you have scripts that were made for like one server, for the Hungarian server or for the Greek server or whatever, right? If the likes and dislikes the voting system, if it affects all of the servers, right? If I am playing in the Greek server and I am affected by the likes and dislikes of the .NET server, it might push down the scripts that are only visible on the Greek server, right? And they might not be any less useful than those. If they are legal on that server specifically, there probably is a reason why, right? That there is something unique about it. So that is something that could be a little bit concerning and mess up the filtering. If this voting system differs from server to server, I think this wouldn't happen, and I think it would fully solve the issue. The only other thing that I would say is that in the beginning, when you launch this function, well, there won't be likes and dislikes in the scripts, right? So I would hope that they can collaborate with players or try to sort of understand what a sort of standard script pack is, right? Like just finding like 10 scripts that like everyone uses, independently of server, independently of if they are more experienced or less experienced. There are things that pretty much everyone uses. Single village scavenging, multi-village scavenging, like a resource sender for minting, for example, some like map tool, for example, that there are things that people use. Of course, balancer, warehouse balancer. They should have some sort of like preset of scripts that you can just import, and that they call like the default preset or something. I think that would help a lot, especially at first when this thumbs up and thumbs down voting system is not in effect yet. The only issue though is if that were implemented, maybe that would discourage people from thumbs upping or thumbs downing each script. So I really don't know how the infrastructure looks like. We can take a look, but people should be able to thumbs up and thumbs down scripts that they have in the quick bar and not only in the community scripts section. Because imagine you import a script from the community script section. If you don't like it, you are very likely to go back to the community script section and dislike that script. If you do like it, you most likely will just keep on using it and you won't even feel the need to go back to the community script section, right? So there will be more people disliking than there will be people liking. In my opinion, this could be a bad analysis by me. There is no doubt. But if you are happy with something, you are way more unlikely to go there and say that you are happy with it than if you are unhappy with something. I feel like if you are unhappy with something, you are just way more likely to go there and say that you are unhappy about it, basically. So those are my criticisms of that. A more thorough talk by me in that thing, because I really do think that this is something that is very relevant, the way scripts show up, especially at first, like when someone opens up the community scripts tab, because you have a lot of people playing tribal wars that like show up after not having played for 5 years or something. So it is very relevant how those people view the game, how those people interact with these new systems, because those are the people that you don't want to confuse, right? I mean, I cannot be the most happy about this function in the end or something like that, but like I know how all of this works. If I know that the script is inside of this function, no matter where it shows up or no matter how it is filtered, I will always look for it because I know what I'm looking for. The thing is, there's many people who do not know what they're looking for, and those are the people that that should have a very big ease of access to systems like these, basically. Managing your active scripts will be much smoother with a clearer My Scripts overview so that you're not scrolling through the entire library every time. Okay, so I guess I don't really understand. Will they keep the quick bar? I mean, I assume the quick bar will be restricted to links from only inside of the game. Your warehouse, your recruit button, your account manager, whatever else. And scripts themselves will probably just be managed through the My Scripts overview, but I hope we can also use shortcuts there, and this would be a good moment for them to enable some sort of shortcuts section inside of the game where you could manage shortcuts for going to places. Like nowadays you can use M for going to the map, or V for going to your village overview, and then of course every other shortcut is just number keys from your fast access bar. This would be a good moment for them to implement something beyond that. Like if I want to add a new shortcut to the leaderboard and I want to assign L to it, I should be able to, for example. This would be a good moment for them to add that. I think it's probably not something very hard to add, but again, I have no clue. A better experience for script creators. Submitting and updating scripts will no longer go through support tickets. Creators will be able to submit and update scripts directly through a new front-end form with the proper review and approval flow on our end. That's cool. That is nice. I mean, I still really wonder how this will work, because of course you have different roles in every server. It really just makes things more confusing in my head, because, well, since every server has a different thing, if I submit a fake script for approval from the UK server, for example, like, it will be approved, but it will not be added in any server because it's not okay to use in the UK server. I think that's a little bit confusing. Just the fact that the scripts aren't the same everywhere makes things slightly confusing at the very least. So, yeah. Scripts will be versioned, so players are always running the latest approved version. That's cool. A dedicated testing space on ZZ1 will be available for creators to build and test before submitting. There can be issues with this, like for example, we talked about it, like the keypress script, for example. The version that is there currently is maybe the most up-to-date version in some place, but there have been other script creators that went there and updated that script and made it better. Like, it just gets rid of the fact that there can be two versions of the same script and they both perform in different ways. If one is clearly superior, like is the case in keypress for sure, that should be the one that shows up. And, well, it currently is not the one that shows up. Or was not, I don't know, I haven't checked, no. But yeah, that's my issue with that. But yeah, cool idea. Clearer rules and expectations. We have put together clear guidelines on what is and isn't allowed in the script library, along with a disclaimer that creators need to agree to. Guidelines will be available in the game directly when submitting a script. Okay. Our target is to have all of these improvements live by April 26, in line with our planned rollout to live servers. However, for us, it is more important to have everything ready than to rush the live release. Cool. Until we're not 100% happy, the script library will be featured in beta only. Please note that this will be an ongoing test phase and eventual bugs may occur. Cool. There's a lot more exciting stuff in the pipeline and we'll share more details as things take shape. In the meantime, join us on whatever. So let's take a look at beta 1, right? First of all, you join. I have no premium account, by the way, and you have all the icons here, as if you had premium account nowadays. So that is amazing, and I can use shortcuts. I can use shortcuts. No premium account. Like, no premium account. This is really cool. It's super nice. It's a pretty big improvement, and it has nothing to do with the script library, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so the quick bar, it still has activate community script, and there's the script library thing. So this just redirects you to the script library. Okay, sure, I guess. Let's see keypress. Okay, it's still the same thing. I don't think they changed anything with that. What other thing was I talking about? Thumbs up and thumbs down? I don't think that's a thing yet. So I don't think there is much for me to say here. Revision, okay, description, can set keyboard shortcuts, all of that, but still only numbers, all that. Well, really nothing much changed when it comes to the game itself, but yeah, still wanted to take a look. It still looks exactly the same I think. Yeah, I think that's probably that. So yeah, the remaining criticism that I talked about in the rest of the video definitely is applicable for the most part. And oh yeah, I mean, I think this is it. I have talked for like around 20 minutes more already. If you're still listening to this, I mean, I'm very surprised, but I'm glad, and I hope you are outspoken about these issues, because this will be something that will impact the game a lot, clearly. So I just hope that you, well, if you play the game actively, right, I hope that you at least are worried about, well, having your thoughts heard, and well, hopefully having at least some of the criticisms that I might be taken into consideration, and of course your own, and comment down whatever you think about this. And yeah, this is all from me. I'll see you in the next one. Whenever I remember doing that, I guess.